The Sony ZV-E10 has been out for a year and is still Sony's newest APS-C mirrorless camera. But after a year of use, is the ZV-E10 still worth buying? Let's find out. I've had the Sony ZV-E10 since release and it's been my main camera since then. So let's have a quick reminder of the specs. The ZV-E10 is a mirrorless camera that uses Sony's E-mount lens system. It can record 4K video at up to 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second video at 1080p. It has a 24.2 megapixel sensor which can capture images at 6000 by 4000 pixels. It has a mic input, a headphone jack and USB-C connection. It has active gyroscopic stabilisation built in, and it has an accurate autofocus system with 425 phase detection points. It supports S-Log3 wide dynamic range shooting, as well as other professional gamma curves such as Cine. So that's a quick rundown of some of the main specs, and this camera's current price is around $800, £700, which basically means the price hasn't gone down since release. And up until recently, actually getting your hand on one of these cameras at all, in the US especially, was very difficult due to the global semiconductor shortages. But finally, they're starting to become available again, but there are no discounts available yet. Well, I haven't spotted any anyway. But even for this higher price, the features that it offers still make it worth considering. For my original first impressions of this camera when I first got it, and lots of other videos about Sony mirrorless cameras, please subscribe to the channel, and if you're enjoying this one, drop a like on the video. So, things I like about the ZV-E10. Well, the video quality at 4K and 1080p looks really good. I'm using it to record this video here and have used it for nearly all of my videos since getting the camera. And I have been really happy and, well, just impressed really, for especially this type of in-studio shot, just how much my video quality has improved since moving to this camera from the A5100 and A6000 I was mainly using previously. I've also used this camera a lot for photography and travel videos, and I have found that it performs really well and the results are really good. Its compact size means that this is an ideal camera for vlogging or, more in my case, travel photography. It's lightweight and at only 364 grams makes it very travel friendly, especially when paired with a lightweight lens such as the kit lens which comes with it as standard, though you can get it in the body only configuration. And talking of lenses, the E-mount lens system means upgrading your lenses for different situations is easy, especially when you compare it to Sony's other vlogging camera, the ZV-1, which has a fixed lens. The 16 to 50mm kit lens, which it often comes with, is fine for your first lens, as it covers a lot of focal ranges. But when you're ready to upgrade, there are lots and lots of great options out there. My personal favourite at the moment has been the Sigma 18 to 50 f2.8, which covers a pretty similar range to the Sony kit lens, but provides much better low light performance and gives you those nice professional looking out of focus backgrounds. So the active steady shot, which I mentioned before, works really well and is comparable with proper in-body stabilisation which you get on more expensive cameras. Just be aware, to achieve this effect, your shot will be cropped in slightly from the maximum resolution. Also, the proper picture profiles, such as S-Log3 and Cine 4, which I mentioned before, make this camera head and shoulders above a lot of Sony's similar priced cameras, and can help you achieve very professional looking video. The camera's battery powers up to 125 minutes of continuous movie shooting or up to 440 still images, which seems very good seeing as it uses the smaller MPFW50 battery, which it was criticised for on release as there is a larger Sony battery out which people thought that they would go for this type of camera. But I found its battery performance very good, especially compared to cameras like the A6000. I also like the big movie button on the top, which makes the operation for taking videos much quicker, and the wide telephoto zoom rocker, similar to that you get on the A5100, is great for use with a power zoom lens. These are just things that make using the camera much more smooth. I also am a huge fan of how much easier it is to live stream and use this camera as a webcam. Rather than needing separate software and a capture card, you can just plug the camera in via USB-C and the streaming mode will be enabled and it'll pick the camera straight up. I use this camera as my main webcam and it gets comments all the time on how good it looks. Now, it doesn't stream at maximum resolution, but for how easy it is to set up, this is a small price to pay. Quality of life improvements like the inclusion of a microphone port also are not to be overlooked. But of course there are some things that I don't like about this camera. The availability of the Sony ZV-E10 has made it hard to recommend over the last year, which is a shame because I've really enjoyed using this camera. But this isn't the only downside. The lack of EVF, which is the electronic viewfinder, makes this camera more portable and lightweight, but it makes the camera worse for photography. You'll always be relying on the screen for composing your shots. Now the screen is very good, but it can be hard to see, especially, as I say, when it is very bright, and this will be a deal breaker for a lot of the more photography focused amongst you. Another big issue is the rolling shutter when taking videos. Now what this is, when you're moving the camera quickly when taking a video, it can make your shots look very warped and wobbly. Now this is not really an issue when you are shooting completely still, like on a tripod, or you're using a gimbal, but if you're handheld and, well, moving around, it's very noticeable and looks very, well, unprofessional, which is a shame for a camera which is aimed at this type of use. Also, the built-in slow and quick function is a bit of a gimmick. Now this has its own dedicated option, which feels a bit over the top. This effect of either slow motion or hyperlapse is on nearly all cameras, so it having a dedicated option on the shoot mode button seems unnecessary. And the shoot mode selector button itself is a bit of an issue. It cycles between the photo mode, the video mode, and then the slow and quick mode. And I don't like this button at all, as it should be much easier to swap between photo and video mode. This hasn't necessarily been an issue on older cameras, whereas on this camera, and if you're in video mode, you can't take a photo. So if you're in the wrong mode and you need to take something quickly, you have to swap between the modes and you have to cycle around all three. It's not that quick. It's just not that user-friendly, especially when you're trying to change modes on the fly. Overall, the Sony ZV-E10 has been my #1 camera since I got it, replacing the Sony a5100 and a6000 for most tasks, whether that's photography or video. Its more up-to-date features make it better in nearly all aspects, apart from, of course, the price. And that price is a big factor. I focus mainly on budget cameras and accessories and lenses on this channel, so an $800 camera is pushing the idea of budget to the limit. But for features such as 4K at 60 frames per second, that stabilisation, the fast autofocus, and the picture profiles, you won't find a better camera for the price. So yes, the Sony ZV-E10 does come recommended after a year, from me anyway. Do you have the Sony ZV-E10 or are you thinking of picking one up? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing to the channel and dropping a like on the video. But until next time, see ya.